Get ready for season 5, everyone, because trust me, you guys are not ready for what's coming, so get ready!
Stranger Things fans, welcome back from your trip to the trenches. Or wait, is it the other way around? Are we going back in? Either way, everyone's buzzing about it because remember when Mike could barely reach the bike pedals? Or when Dustin's voice cracked mid-sentence and Lucas still believed girls had cooties? Now we're in 2025, and the Stranger Things kids just re-entered the Upside Down. Looking like they just finished finals at NYU. It's been 3 years off screen and 9 years in real time. So we gotta ask the big question. Did Netflix wait so long that the show's charm vanished? Before we dig into the kids getting too old situation, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Season 4 left us in chaos. Vecna somehow survived and powered up on top of it all. Hawkins is basically splitting in half. Max is comatose, basically hanging on by a thread. And the Upside Down is, well, bleeding into the real world. Truthfully, it felt like Stranger Things was finally entering its endgame. So where the heck have we been for 3 years? 3 words, guys. Delays, delays, delays. First, there was COVID, which pretty much shut everything down. Then came the VFX bottlenecks. The sheer scale of Season 5's visual effects is actually no joke. Because, of course, Vecna drip isn't cheap. Can any character played by Jamie Campbell Bower ever be cheap? And just when they were ready to roll the cameras again, 2023's writers' strike and the actors' strike hit harder than a Demogorgon. Ouch. Seriously, everything practically froze for months. But time didn't just mess with production. You see, while the cameras were still, time wasn't. The world moved on. And the biggest transformation here wasn't the Upside Down, but rather something simultaneously natural and somehow stranger, if you catch our drift. The kids grew up. Maybe we should talk about glow-ups now, because Stranger Things isn't about scrappy middle schoolers anymore. To be for real, it's more like a reunion special with full-blown adults pretending they still get grounded for staying out past 9. And, well, here's a quick reality check. Millie Bobby Brown, who was 12 in Season 1, is 21 now. Finn Wolfhard has gone from 13 to 22, and Caleb McLaughlin from 14 to 24. Also, Gaten Matarazzo from 13 to 22. And the oldest of the bunch, Sadie Sink, went from an edgy 14-year-old girl to a 23-year-old young adult. Sure, some still pass for teens, like Gaten, who still gives adorable nerd energy. But others? Fans are joking that Caleb McLaughlin could honestly play a college athlete. We're not saying they're too old, but maybe we'd trust Mike with a LinkedIn account. Just saying. And this is where the fan base splits like the Hawkins fault line. Some fans are here for it, suggesting that we've aged with them, it makes sense. Others, not so much. And can they really be blamed? For many, it's quite the whiplash. Because now it's a little bit more than sketchy to imagine kids who basically look like they chill on the weekends with a beer or two to have growth pains and freshman problems. Real fans know that authenticity was always Stranger Things' secret weapon, or its entire selling point, if we're being honest. From Season 1, the show legit nailed that Spielberg-esque coming-of-age vibe. Awkward kids wobbling through big problems on bikes, dealing with first crushes in the midst of mystery solving, and not to mention the very real terror of both bullies and monsters. But 9 years later, that coming-of-age feeling is harder to sell since the characters now radiate more of a quarter-life crisis energy. The tone has, safe to say, changed. Other shows like Glee and Riverdale got roasted for casting 20-somethings as high schoolers, but at least they fully owned it. Or tried to, however tasteful that was. They joked about it and made it campy. Stranger Things plays it straight, sans self-awareness. No nudge-nudge. Luckily, the Duffer Brothers saw this coming. They aren't pretending the cast is still 15. Season 5 will include a time skip. A move that not only makes sense narratively, but also lets the cast finally act their actual age. Or close to it. It's a smart move. You can't ask Finn Wolfhard to shave and play a high school freshman anymore. But you can give him a story that reflects how much he and the world of Hawkins has changed. So instead of pretending these 20-year-olds are still worried about pop quizzes, we're seeing a military lockdown Hawkins, being, potentially, rescued by a group of friends forced to grow up way too fast. And it helps, that the cast is ready for heavier material. Millie Bobby Brown's already proven herself in 2 Enola Holmes films. Joseph Quinn became a breakout star thanks to Eddie Munson's now iconic arc. The time jump doesn't just make sense, it sets the stage for Stranger Things to evolve into its final, most ambitious form. From coming of age to end of the world. Does an older cast mean better payoff? With the characters now portrayed by actors in their early 20s to mid-20s, we're in richer storytelling territory. Bigger emotional range, more nuanced chemistry. The Duffer Brothers describe Season 5 as their most ambitious and emotional story yet, comparing each of the 8 episodes to blockbuster movies. A war-torn Hawkins under military lockdown, a group grappling with real trauma. This isn't kids versus monsters anymore. It's young adults confronting their scars, both supernatural and psychological. And yes, there's a growing consensus among fans that seasonal exits and character deaths feel more possible now. The fact is, the glow-ups aren't a distraction. They are the show's way to deliver the emotional cinematic climax that Stranger Things deserves. Ironically, the cast's maturity is Stranger Things' secret weapon in the TikTok era. Joseph Quinn, Eddie Munson himself, has become the internet's muse, reacting to thirst tweets with viral clips on TikTok, garnering millions of views. Meanwhile, Sadie Sink is owning the fashion world as she stunned onlookers at the 2025 Tony Awards in a custom Prada silver gown, and later at the Met Gala, where her dramatic black satin look trended all over TikTok and Instagram. Anyone who's a social media heavyweight knows that this kind of virality means everything to shows when there's so much competition. You know it, and we know it. A cast studded with star actors who've finally grown up enough to land major roles in other franchises means something interesting. Exits. Millie already made a name for herself in Enola Holmes, and the rest of the cast isn't exactly coming in easy either. And since the show's decidedly taken a much darker turn, we can expect some harsh, no-plot armor moments. There's even fan speculation, especially on Reddit, that secondary characters like Murray or Owens are prime candidates for departure, since the Duffers have hinted at a more unpredictable approach without the usual safeties. As for the core gang, Finn Wolfhard confirmed he filmed the final scenes of Season 5 and is expected to survive until the end. This makes fans think that the central characters might be safe, at least through Episode 8. It's time for your take. Do the cast transformations work? Still believable as teens, or have they grown up too much? This can be a hit or miss for many people. More so when you think about how shows like Euphoria and Teen Wolf get dragged online every once in a while, with over 6 feet tall sophomores and freshmen with lip fillers. But hey, we have to be fair, Stranger Things hasn't done anything that strange yet, considering its name. Anyway, the fan base is split. One Redditor says some critiques are overblown, saying that they're pointless and cheap, as we've been watching 25 to 30-year-olds as teens in every other teen show of the last 25 years. Meanwhile, there's a whole army of fans online raving about the glow-ups they're going to see on screen soon. So, how about you offer your take too? Which era of the beloved characters did you vibe with the most? 11, with her Season 1 buzz cut look or full power queen? Or maybe it's Steve, who went from a floppy-haired sweetheart to legendary mullet hero. And maybe you're thinking Max, skater punk kid to battle-hardened Vecna survivor. And believe it or not, this is just the beginning. Up next, a full breakdown of every Easter egg, theory, and blink and you miss it moment unpacked in detail. We'll dissect frame by frame what Hawkins under military lockdown looks like, Vecna's ominous return, and those emotional character glances are hinting at. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, because this final twist is going to flip your world upside down. Hopefully not literally. Fingers crossed.